I've got my top 10 must-adds ahead of opening day, and that list is coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. I'm going to give you my top 10 must-adds heading into week 1. If you like this content, please smash that like button, and a special thanks goes to all of our subscribers who have been watching these videos, as you now account for almost 19% of all viewers. To the other 81% of viewers that haven't yet subscribed, I encourage you to do so, as it helps me create these videos for you. Also, leave a comment on a player that you think deserves to be on this list. Now, before we jump into this list, I have exciting news about a brand new way to get fantasy baseball advice. Hey guys, I know a lot of you have burning fantasy baseball questions, and I can now get to more of those with the help of a brand new exciting product from our partner, Q Platforms. For a small fee, I will personally respond to your questions. You'll get a brief audio response sent discreetly to your email. It couldn't be easier, and I'm excited for this new way to engage. Just go to askmeonq.com/beattheodds to submit your request today. That's askmeonq, spelled QU.com/beattheodds. Or click on the link in the description box below. Q is a quick and easy way to get the information that you need to win your fantasy or DFS league. And it helps support the channel, so try it out today. Let's start at number 10. Luis Rengifo, 53% owned. Last season he had 55 runs scored, 16 homers, 51 runs batted in, 6 stolen bases, and a .264 average. In 394 at-bats last season, Rengifo showed why the Angels are seriously considering slotting him in at the leadoff position to start the season. That's one reason to pick him up. The second is that his 9.2 walk percentage helped him achieve a .339 on-base percentage, which is workable for a leadoff hitter. Add in that he's going to be used all over the diamond, and you should be able to see how Rengifo would have value on your squad. Let's go to number 9. We have Andrew Vaughn, 53% owned. Last season he had 67 runs scored, 21 homers, 80 runs batted in, and a .258 average. If you're looking for a high ceiling player to plug into a util spot in your lineup, then look no further. The White Sox is going to be slotting in the 25-year-old first baseman in the 5th spot in the order, which should get him plenty of run-producing opportunities. Vaughn can hit the ball hard, as his 90.6 mile-per-hour average exit velocity would suggest. He might be in a good position to add to his career-high totals this season. Let's go to number 8. We have Colt Keith, 22% owned. In AAA or AA in AAA last season, he had 88 runs scored, 27 homers, 101 RBI, 3 stolen bases, and a .306 average. So he's not a runner. We'll get that out of the way first. He is a disciplined hitter with power that was able to slug a combined .552 across AA and AAA last season. That was enough for the Tigers brass to sign him to a 9-year extension worth $82 million. He's currently slotted in the 7th spot in the lineup, but one can imagine that he will be moved up in the order once he starts producing. Moving on to number 7, we have Christopher Sanchez, 51% owned. Last season he had 3 wins, 96 strikeouts, 3.44 ERA, and a 1.05 WHIP. One look at his walk percentage would be enough to give Sanchez serious consideration for your squad. It was 4.0, and it placed him in the 98th percentile in the league. A pitcher's path to success is made so much easier when you're not handing out free passes. Sanchez isn't going to overpower you with his fastball, but he mixes in his changeup so well that batters hit only 148 against it. Sign me up. Let's go to number 6. We have Parker Meadows, 16% owned. Last season he has 19 runs scored, 3 homers, 13 runs batted in, 8 stolen bases, and a .232 average. He's going to lead off, he's going to use his 90th percentile sprint speed to steal bases, and he's going to hit enough homers to not hurt your fantasy squad. I'm a big believer in walk percentage as it measures up to leadoff hitters, and Parker's 11.7% would have put him in the top 80th percentile had he qualified. He's got a real opportunity to run away with the leadoff role, and I believe that we will see a 15-homer, 30 stolen base season from him this year. Let's go to number 5. We have Vaughn Grissom, 58% owned. Last season he had 5 runs scored, 9 runs batted in, and a .280 average. We were all drooling at the prospect of a full season of Grisham in that loaded Atlanta lineup last season, but that didn't come to pass as he was optioned to AAA to work on his defense. Subsequently traded to the Red Sox in the Chris Sale deal, Grisham will now man the keystone there.
What's important is that he pretty much has that job outright. He may see some time over in the leadoff position against lefties as well. Let's go to number 4. We have Henry Davis, 20% owned. Last season, he had 27 runs scored, 7 homers, 24 runs batted in, 3 stolen bases, and a .213 average. Davis is going to be catching for the Pirates. Perhaps not every day, but enough to gain eligibility behind the plate. And when he does, he will be scooped up fast. Davis is a strong physical presence at the plate, and he could be one of 2 catcher-eligible players to record a 20-homer, 20 stolen base season this year, JT Realmuto, of course, being the other. Play him at the outfield for now, and then reap the benefits once he gains the C. Let's go to number 3. We have Cutter Crawford, 50% owned. Last season, he had 6 wins, 135 strikeouts, 4.04 ERA, and a 1.11 whip. Cutter has had a fantastic spring to date, and his xERA from last season suggests that we might see a positive regression in his ERA this year. He has secured a spot in the Red Sox rotation, and he's going to be baffling hitters with his 6-pitch mix all season long. Cutter's namesake pitch, his cutter, was actually hittable last season with batters hitting 287 against it. His 94-mile-per-hour fastball, though, conjured 72 strikeouts, and batters hit only 164 against that. Moving on to number 2, we have Joel Payamps, 25% owned. Last season, he had 7 wins, 3 saves, 77 strikeouts, 2.55 ERA, and a 1.05 whip. With Devin Williams set to miss 3 months with 2 stress fractures in his back, all signs point to Payamps to step in as the closer. He was a great setup man for Williams last season, as his 84-mile-an-hour slider meshed well with his 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Those 2 were his out pitches as they combined for 70 of his 77 strikeouts last season. So if all goes well, you can expect 12 to 15 saves from Payamps before Williams returns to the bullpen. And finally, at number 1, we have Mitch Garver, 59% owned. Last season, he had 45 runs scored, 19 homers, 50 runs batted in, and a .270 average. My favorite catcher to draft is one that won't be catching at all during the season. Cue Mitch Garver, Seattle's new DH, and get this, their projected cleanup hitter. One look at his StatCast page and you will see why I'm so high on Garver. In 691 at-bats spanning the last 3 seasons, the 33-year-old hammered 42 home runs. Should he approach 550 at-bats this season, which would be a tall ask, he could give you 30 home runs this year. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. And I'm going to be doing fantasy baseball all season long, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. But I'm going to sign off here for now. I will catch you guys on the next episode.